Kyle here with the guitarpages.com. Today we're going to be looking at how to correctly adjust the pickup height on your electric guitars. I've got a Gibson here with humbuckers and a Fender with single coils, and I'm going to be going through both those guitars and showing you how I do the pickup height adjustment on those. The concepts are the same for any guitar or any style of pickup, so these will work for whatever you're working with. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. I got a bunch more videos coming out specifically about guitar setup. I wrote an article about this over on the guitarpages.com. I'm going to link to that article below in the description. It goes into much more detail about this process, and it has a table of specs for different types of guitars and different types of pickups. And these are the specs that we're going to use as a starting point for the guitar pickup height. Go check that article out and grab that spec number before you start digging in. Now, why would you want to do this in the first place? Guitars can start to sound thin or can develop a little warble. A lot of those things can be attributed to a pickup that's not quite in the right spot, and that's what we're going to address with this process. Now, the last thing I'm going to say before we dive into this is that the pickup height adjustment is part of a standard guitar setup. One of the most important parts of that is that you put a new set of strings on the guitar before starting. Old strings will exhibit all those same issues: dead spots, quiet notes, weird harmonics, harsh tones. All those things are also indicative of a set of strings that are starting to go bad. So make sure that you have a fresh set of strings on the guitar before you get started. Okay, that's it. Let's do this. Okay, we got the ES-335 on the bench here. The tools that we're going to need are very simple. For this guitar, the set screws are a little standard driver or slotted. It totally depends on your style of pickup though, and on my Strat, I've got, those ones are a Phillips, so I've got a Phillips driver here for that as well. We're also going to need a small little ruler. This one has 60/4 on it. It's a little 6-inch ruler. This is what I use for all my guitar work. It's a small little general steel ruler. You can buy these from Amazon for just a couple bucks. They're really cheap. Okay, now let's get to it. Now it's time to make the first adjustment to the pickup height. So we're going to start with the neck pickup here. I looked it up in the table in that article, and with this guitar we're going to be looking for a 3/64 on the bass and treble side for the neck pickup. So what you want to do is always press the string down at the last fret and then measure between the top of the pole piece and the bottom of the string. And we're actually pretty low there, so we're showing just about 5/64. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that pickup up. And there's 3/64. I'm going to do the same for the treble side. And that looks like we might be a little bit high. There we go. Okay, so 3/64 on that side. Now I'm going to go to the bridge pickup and do the same thing. Okay, now with your guitar plugged into your amp, I typically play with a very clean tone, so I've just got it set through this Fender DeVille totally clean with no pedals or anything. If you play though with a pedal board or a setup or a modeling amp, you're going to want to play through the setup that you normally play with. So I've got it plugged in, I'm on the neck pickup, and I've got my volume and tone turned all the way up. What I'm going to start doing is playing big fat chords that utilize all 6 strings, and then playing those slowly up the neck, listening very carefully to the balance between the bass and the treble. Right away is that the bass is sounding a little bit muddy, and that it sounds like the pickup might be a little bit too close to the string. So I'm going to lower that. Okay, and we're just going to listen again. That sounds good. Maybe just a little bit lower on the bass side there. There we go, that brought that bass down. Kind of pulls some of the muddiness out of those notes. So you want to play kind of the stuff that you normally play. If you're going to play with your fingers, play with that and then do some chord stuff and then do some single line stuff, kind of play all over the neck and make sure it sounds good everywhere and it sounds balanced. That sounds really great to me. Now, once you have one pickup set up, you're going to want to do the exact same thing to the other pickup. So I'm going to go to the bridge pickup now. I'm going to switch between those, and I want to make sure that the volume is somewhat close. We're going to dial that in next, but okay, that sounds good to me. So there's a tiny little bit of increase in volume there. Same thing sounds great. That bass side again might be a little bit close, so I'm going to drop that. Yeah, that sounds great to me. Now what we're going to want to do, so we got both pickups set to be balanced by themselves, I want to make sure that those in-between positions sound good as well. So here's the neck pickup, here's the bridge pickup, here's in between. That sounds great to me. So that's kind of what you want to do. You want to say each individual pickup by themselves and make sure that they're balanced, and then go to the in-between positions and make sure that they're balanced between pickups so that those positions sound good, but also so that if you're switching between pickups, you don't get a huge jump in volume. You might want a slight jump in volume like I have set up here going to the bridge pickup, but it's not super drastic. Okay, I've got the Stratocaster on the bench now. I'm going to start by adjusting the neck pickup. It looks like I'm going to want to shoot for 8/64 on the neck pickup. It looks like I'm just a tiny bit on the low side there. That's perfect. And same deal, just a little bit high on the treble side. There we go. Okay. The middle pickup is going to want to be at 7/64 on the bass. Looks just a tiny bit high. There we go. And 5/64 on the treble side. And that's spot on there. Finally, we're going to adjust the bridge pickup, and that's going to be the same. We're looking for 7/64 on the bass side. And that is a little bit high. That's just about right. And 5/64 on the treble side. That's a little bit high as well. There we go. That's good. Okay, now we'll get it plugged into the amp and dial it in by ear. Okay, now we got the Stratocaster off the bench. We got the pickups adjusted initially, and we're going to do the same thing, plug it into a clean amplifier here. I've got the pickup selector on the neck pickup. We're going to adjust that first. Checking the volume between those two. I want a slight decrease in volume from the middle position to the neck. I want it to go neck the quietest, middle a little bit louder, a little bit brighter, and then the bridge the loudest and the brightest, but just by small increments. That's pretty bright on the treble side, but I like the way that sounds. Everything is really nice and clear there. And it leaves those lower notes to not really muddy up the tone, which is great. Now we're going to move on to the middle pickup, do the same thing for this. Okay, right out of the gate, that feels pretty bright to me. So I'm going to back off the treble side of that pickup. Just a tiny bit more. It's borderline harsh. Now it's a Strat, so you want it to be a little bit bright there, but you also But you also want it to be nice and balanced. So let's go to the bridge. Now the bridge pickup's always going to be very bright, and so I'm going to leave it like that. I like where that's at. Now the last thing we want to do is, of course, check the balance between those pickups. So between the first pickup, or the fifth position, and the third position, we got the fourth there. I like the way that sounds. That's great. And that's it. That's the process for setting the pickup height on your electric guitar. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those below, and we'll see you on the next one.